Hello guys, this is a review of Speak No Evil and Terrifier 3. Isn't this slipcover the coolest? I think it's really nice. Let's start with that one. So, to the best of my knowledge, Art the Clown was kind of like a secondary character, just like a side character in a full feature film that had nothing to do or not directly linked to his story, and then they gave him his own film in Terrifier. I may be wrong, I mean that's kind of like what I remember. I didn't watch that film and I didn't watch Terrifier either, but I did watch Terrifier 2 in theaters actually. I remember hearing a lot about the movie. It was very, very famous within the horror community, but it was also said to be very like gross and a lot of gore. And when you give me gore just for the sake of giving me gore, it's very unappealing to me. So I was not very interested in watching it at all. But I was feeling bad at the time. I don't remember exactly what was happening. So I needed like a comfort blanket. And horror is a huge comfort blanket for me, movies in general. So that's how I got to watching Terrifier 2. While I was watching it, I kept thinking, wow, um, unique. I think the main thing that I remember from Terrifier 2, and I did buy a copy, was how good the acting was. The acting was just phenomenal. I was like, wow. The kid who plays Jonathan, I believe, and his sister, I forgot her name, they were both great, and everybody else was good too. But they just stood out. And I remember thinking that it was weird. It had its off moments where I was like, this is just kind of like nasty, and not in the way that, oh, ooh. No, I could see you cutting people up and doing all that because that for me, like, okay, I mean, it was nasty, and like the color hues that they were choosing for the scenes were like somewhere where there's food. I didn't like the colors. It reminds me of, I don't know if you're familiar with this movie about Caligula called Caligula, with oh my gosh, um, Malcolm. I'm forgetting. Anyway, that movie was so uncomfortable to me, and a lot of people tried to stay away from it because of all the the excessive adult content and the nastiness of it all. But for me, it was the colors. The colors transported me to a place that's very uncomfortable. I hate it. And I really did. Like it was really, I really didn't like it. I only watched it because it was a recommendation from my sister. But anyway, back to Terrifier 2. It had a bit of that, but in the very end, I loved the like superhero, the magical element that was brought to a horror movie. How the lead character, like she was interested in a lot of like artsy things and like do it yourself costumes. She got that sword and did what she had to do, right? Beautiful, awesome, great. So then because of that experience and me being like, okay, well, Santa? Now we have a Terrifier 3 like Christmas related? That might be awesome. So I invested in this copy, and I wish I didn't invest in this copy because now, most DVD stores are closed, at least the ones that I'm close to, and the ones that are open will give you like 10 cents for something like this. I'm exaggerating, probably like a dollar maybe. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. See, this movie is about, and I'm sorry for forgetting the name. I should have done a quick Google search, but the way this is set up, I use my own phone to do this. I was like, I had to go back, I had to put it again. So I'm just gonna say lead character. So the lead character was in like this psychiatric hospital where they were getting her, well again after the traumatic events. Her brother is in college and trying to live a normal life, even though he's very much an outcast still. And it is inferred that he's trying, but he's failing. He doesn't socialize, and I am pretty sure that it still haunts him, even though the movie's not really about him. Anyway, the lead character goes with her aunt and uncle and her little cousin, and I think that's her little cousin. Anyway, they're waiting the return of Jonathan to celebrate. Jonathan is her brother, I think. And Art the Clown appears and starts wreaking havoc across the mall. And see, it's so uninteresting to me that even summarizing it is kind of like a struggle. But basically, he comes back and attacks the lead character, kills her brother, supposedly, kills several people along the way, including basically all of the lead character's family, once again. And she tries to fight him but fails, and the little girl, ends up being taken down to the underworld thingy, and that's what the movie's about. So, what can I say? I remember reading a comment, because I don't read too many comments before doing my reviews, but I did come across one that caught my eye, because they said I didn't like how a lot of the kills, maybe not a lot, but a few of the kills, were just like, um, were not shown to you. So they said, yes, this person was killed, but you didn't see anything at all. Part of the whole appeal to Terrifier is that you get to see the kills. And especially when it's such a big character, like the lead character's brother, who was huge in the other movie. You're telling me that he was killed and we don't even know how? To be honest, I don't even believe it. But Terrifier, I remember with Terrifier 2, I hated the little. Well, I don't know. I don't know if hate is the right word, but I really disliked the little girl who was in his imagination, because to me that's not creepy. She's just annoying. I'll kick her in the head. Like, so annoying. I feel the way that a lot of people feel towards Chucky. They're like, oh, I'll kick him. No, Chucky has superhuman strength. He has the strength of like grown men. But when you have somebody like that creepy little girl, like, sure, you're smiling at me, you're staring at me, I could stare back. Like, what are you gonna do? Come at me, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't like it. And in Terrifier 3, we have the survivor of the original Terrifier movie, if memory serves me right. And she's kind of the lead. She's always talking and like talking and talking and talking and talking. Like, she, like, I don't know, I felt like the movie was more about her. And he's controlling her, but there's no tension. It's just kind of like Art the Clown really does whatever he wants, but at the same time is so not powerful, because he could be stopped by the littlest things. The littlest things. Like, people push him around at the bar, and he thinks that he's funny when he's not. And I do get it. I do get that he's trying to make people feel uncomfortable. Like, wait, you're going too far and putting ourselves in real situations, because that could happen. Obviously, not the supernatural part, but I don't know. It's just very unappealing. And I see here that they're like putting him like in the same icon level as Michael, Jason, and Freddy, but I guess now in today's standards, probably, because Pennywise the Clown from the remake, now he's huge, he's humongous, and in my opinion, he's also not there either. I think it's very disrespectful to put a new horror comer, and I know that Pennywise has his past, but not his past, with a modern clown, but rather with why am I blinking out? With Dr. Frankenfurter from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's the original one. And I hear that it's not even like that close um as an adaptation to the book, but anyway, that's kind of irrelevant. But what I'm saying is, yeah, in my opinion, it is disrespectful. Like, this Art the Clown, he barely came up. I don't know. I don't know. I made a mistake. I just shouldn't have, I should have known that it was going to be that type of movie. I don't think that the movie is bad. I really don't. And I can see why it was appealing to a lot of people. And the people who follow these type of movies, they're going to have a blast. They're going to enjoy every second of it. But people that are not so much into just gore for the gore and odd humor for the odd humor. And keep in mind, I watch movies like American Pie. I grew up on South Park. I love Family Guy. I love Roger the Alien. I like Bad Moms with Mila Kunis. Bad Teacher with Cameron Diaz. All the Jim Carrey movies, The Mask, Yes Man, Bruce Almighty. So it's not that I don't have a sense of humor. It's just that this isn't it. If your humor is similar to Art the Clowns, then this movie, if you haven't watched it, you're gonna love it. It just really wasn't for me. I think that was my own mistake. The movie lacked purpose, which the second one didn't have much purpose either. But I can't fully go into that because I also know that I'm very ignorant in regards to Art's story and how he got to where he got to in the first place. But my rating for the movie would be 4.5 out of 10. I'm gonna see if I could sell it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't want to do the whole shipping thing. That's an inconvenience to me. But I mean, maybe I'll just resort to that because at this point, if you just keep buying things that you don't like, it just overpiles with Well, I don't want to keep talking negatively about something that is so loved by a lot of people because it is disrespectful. At the end of the day, I always say I'm here to give my honest opinion. I'm not here to disrespect anybody's work unless I feel like they really purposefully try to scam people. But no, this isn't that. It's just this isn't for me. But I respect the writers and everybody who was involved in the movie. The actors are still as great as always. It's just different strokes for different folks, as they say. Now, Speak No Evil. This movie, I was so interested in watching it in theaters. I remember seeing like a bunch of memes where they have James McAvoy's character shirtless, and the meme is like, "I watched the movie for the plot in question," and they have one right there. So it was a similar thing to me. I mean, I really do find him very attractive, and not only that, but I also consider him a very good actor. I really got into his work. I remember possibly because wasn't he like the Narnia movie or something like that? I did catch a little bit of that movie, but I didn't even like it. The one that he comes out in where he has hoofs. Um, but the first actual film that I watched, like having watched the entirety of it, would be Atonement, where I believe Sorsha also comes out in, and I need to rewatch it because I was really young when I watched that movie. I don't think I really grasped what it was about, or like I couldn't appreciate it very much. The only reason why I have it actually on DVD is because it came in a bundle with the Brokeback Mountain movie that I to that point I only knew what people were saying online, but I at that point I also had not watched that one. And then it also came with an maybe what is that movie with Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet? Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I believe it's those three. It was a special Universal release by Universal. Anyway, what was I even talking about? Oh yeah, James McAvoy. Then I got to watch him in Split and Glass, and my gosh, like with Split, I was sold with Anya Taylor-Joy, and I was sold with James McAvoy. And from that moment on, every time they release a movie, I do a quick search on Google and see like, is it interesting? And if it's even slightly interesting, I'll give it a watch. I don't watch everything from everyone because I would never finish, and it's like not what I want to do. But I have those actors that I try to keep up with, and that's what happened with Speak No Evil. So that's how I got to purchasing this movie. The movie is about a couple. They go on a little vacation with their daughter and meet some another couple with a son who is mute, and they kick it off. They start like, okay, awesome, yeah, yeah. They get very friendly, crack a few jokes here and there, and they invite them over to their place. And then this couple goes back to London, and there's a lot of drama because the wife doesn't want to live in London, etc. He's having trouble, the dad, with his job, and the mom is struggling to, I don't know, make things work. There's a lot of drama. Anyway, they make the decision, fine, let's go with that couple that we just met. Let's stay over there at their place for a few days. So they go, they're greeted well. From the get-go, though, they make them feel uncomfortable. Not in a direct way to where like, hey, we're gonna go. But for example, they know that the mom is vegetarian or vegan, and they make her eat um, a goose. I think a goose maybe, or yeah, because I don't think it was a duck. And she's obviously very uncomfortable. She chooses, bleh. And all throughout, you see little hints here and there about how abusive the parents are in that house, especially the dad. And it's obvious. I mean, we all knew from the very beginning that he was going to be the villain, so that's no surprise there. In the end, they find out how terrible these people are. They find out that James McAvoy's character has been um, essentially kidnapping a bunch of people, killing a bunch of people, keeping their belongings, selling the cars, and even, like I said, kidnapping the children. For example, their son is not really their son, and he wasn't born with the tongue defect that he was that he showed in the movie. He cut his tongue off so he couldn't tell anybody what is happening. He's from another country. He doesn't write English. Um, write in English, I mean. So they have their ultimate battle in the end, and luckily they're able to escape. And their supposed son, in the end, um, crushes his dad's skull in with a rock, and they go home, and that's how the movie ends. So, Speak No Evil, it delivered in the beautiful scenery that I live for with movies, because I live in a city. I my job is not a job where I get to see cows and green and butterflies. So most of my time is spent indoors or on the freeway, going to my job and coming back, or doing, running errands. So anytime I get to see beautiful nature, and I live close to the beach, so I have that, and I have hills, but I can't be like, I have to work to live, so I can't be there all as much as I want to. So sometimes when I come back from work and I want to just unwind, I really receive a lot of gratification from seeing these places in movies, and this movie delivered in that. It also delivered in great performances by all the actors. Oh my gosh, yeah. The scene where they're trying to, the kids are showing them their little dance, little country dance, then the dad is just flipping out. It made me so uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable in many, many scenes, because he's just that person that you've seen at some point in your life, if you're old enough, where their parenting techniques are a little ruthless, and if you have a different way of handling certain situations, sure, we have to be open-minded and respectful, but there's a limit. There's a line where, okay, you are disciplining your child, or are you torturing them? And this dad just tortures him and does it in front of everybody, and it makes me feel like like I don't want to be there. So that's also another plus. The acting was great, but since it is a recycled formula and has been done many, many, many times, The Stepfather, for example, similar movies like Disturbia, uh, not necessarily with like the dad, but it's been done many, many, many times. As you can see, I have a wide collection, and those are not even half of the movies that I've seen throughout my life. When you have something like that, you better make it special. You better have something that really stands out. And I trust, because this is by Blumhouse, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, from Blumhouse. I trust their work. I trust James McAvoy's work. But this movie is not like top tier. I think it could have used a little something. Maybe slightly better decisions from the parents would have made it more satisfying for me. Because, and even the child. So their daughter of the main couple, she has anxiety issues. Every now and again she gets a little bit like and she uses an app to remind her to breathe, and a little bunny, and she loves her bunny. At one point in the movie, when the mom finds her daughter sleeping in bed with the other family naked, oh, not naked, but like in their underwear, she's like, "That's it, we're leaving." And then the girl's like, I don't remember the bunny's name, but let's call him Ralph. Ralph. Uh, I want Ralph. Where's Ralph? Give me Ralph. I'm like, girl, that's like, you are so dumb. You are so dumb. You know that there's something wrong, because she even mentioned it. She's like, there's something a little bit off. Like, there's something that's not right. And you want to go back there for your rabbit? You want to put your family in danger. She's not 5 or 6 or 7. In the movie, she's probably, I think, like 11 or 12. She's old. She's old. She's a big girl. You should know that you're putting your family in danger by doing some stupid shit like that. Why? I don't know. That was really, really annoying to me. Another thing, they go back for the damn rabbit. And then the family explains, I lost my daughter, and that's why I don't know, like, when to stop or when to, like, butt in. They decide to stay. Okay. And then that's when, they discover the worst atrocities of a while later, but so dumb, because they had that opportunity. You know what I would have done, and that I feel would have made the movie a lot better, is if in the first time that they try to escape, the dad, James McAvoy's character, um, traps them and starts torturing them in front of each other. And maybe, I don't know, opens a door to a room with a bunch of corpses and dresses their daughter in the clothes of a dead girl, and also makes her shave her head because they made a little wig with the other dead girl's hair that they liked a lot. And they're gonna be like, you're gonna be Stephanie, you're gonna be Stephanie. I feel I don't know, something twisted. And they would try to escape, but they would chainsaw their leg off. I wanted something like that, because that's when gore is appropriate. That's when the whole torture element comes in for these type of movies. I feel like Blumhouse played it really safe with this one. So safe, because only the bad guys get hurt. I mean, seriously hurt. The other ones do get hurt, but in like, ew, oh man, I fell from the ladder. No, we need you to get hurt, because we want to feel fear for this crazy dad. We know he's capable of, yes, but I feel like it appealed. And what's the dang rating? Isn't it R? It's supposed to be rated R, and it didn't feel rated R at all. Maybe because of the subject matter, but nah, I wanted it to be worse. And then I wanted the boy to I don't want him to suffer anymore. That made me uncomfortable because they already cut his tongue off. So maybe he could have like hit the mom in the head, and then the bad mom obviously. And then the mom is like trying to get him, and he gets boiling water and throws it in her face, and then in front of the evil dad, and the dad can't do anything about it because by then he's already been also chopped into a few pieces. I don't know, something where it's like, oh shoot, you know. And then I wanted a twist. Maybe okay, okay. I'm going. Wait, I just realized that I've been talking about my own movie for a really long time. So disclaimer: I do like to write. I love writing stories, even though I don't do it often anymore. But I used to do it a lot before. I love writing songs. I just love writing. So this comes very natural to me. I could make up a movie in 10 minutes. The plot, obviously, but I think Speak No Evil is solid. I think it's okay. I think it's just like I said, very watered down, very Hollywoodish, but it has its strong points that I previously mentioned before going on and on and on and on. Um I would give it a rating of maybe either 7 out of 10 strictly in its category, or 6.5 out of 10 overall. Around there, maybe even 6. But yeah, guess that's it for these two. Thank you for watching.